Hi, today we are going to deal with qualitative research. Here we will describe what all are the major contents in qualitative research and the difference between quantitative and qualitative research. Okay, let me move on to the topic directly. Qualitative research is a methodological approach used in scientific inquiry that focus on understanding human behavior, experiences and phenomenon in depth. So it's a scientific approach, or we use scientific inquiry or scientific approach in qualitative research also. And here we will focus on understanding the human behavior, experience and phenomenon in depth. So there will be a qualitative exploration will be taken place. And unlike quantitative research which deals with numerical data and statistical analysis, qualitative research emphasizes subjective insights, meanings and interpretation. That is a major difference between quantitative research and qualitative research. Quantitative research deal with numerical data or quantitative data, while qualitative research deals with non-numerical qualitative data. Okay, we will deal with subjective insight from the participants, meanings and its interpretations. Okay, let me move on to the major contents or processes of qualitative inquiry. First thing is nature of data. Qualitative research gathers non-numerical data. As I mentioned earlier, it gathers non-numerical data such as words, images, videos and observations. These data types helps researchers capture the complexity and richness of human experience. That we have already seen that we will deal with human experiences, perceptions and so on. So these kind of data will help the researchers to understand the complexity of richness of human experiences. Okay, it's exploratory and descriptive. So qualitative research is often exploratory, seeking to understand phenomenon in their natural setting without predetermined hypothesis. It describes and interprets rather than quantifies relationships. Okay, let me see that there are three concepts there. First and foremost thing is that it seeks to understand phenomenon in their natural setting. So natural setting, so we will get genuine natural information because we collect it from natural setting and without predetermined hypothesis. In qualitative research there won't be any kind of predetermined assumptions or testable prediction or hypothesis. Rather we will go with research objectives and research questions in qualitative research. Okay, it describes and interprets rather than quantifies a relationship. So in quantitative research we will quantify the relationship between variables, right? Independent variable and dependent variable, or cause effect relationship will be quantified there. But in qualitative research we will qualitative researcher will deal with interpret or describe the data that he get from the environment. Okay, let me move on to the next slide. Data collection methods. So there are difference between quantitative and qualitative research with regard to the data collection method. Qualitative researchers use various methods to collect data, including interviews, focus group, participant observation, ethnography and content analysis. We will discuss about these processes later. These methods allow researchers to delve into participants' thoughts, feelings and behaviors. Okay, quantitative research we will collect quantitative data using questionnaires, but in qualitative research we will go for focus group discussions, in-depth interviews, participant observations and so on. Okay, that is a major difference in qualitative and quantitative data collection methods. Okay, then with regard to the sampling, qualitative research typically uses purposive or snowball sampling. It should be kept in your mind that in qualitative research we will deal with purposive or non-probability sampling methods will be adopted, where participants are selected based on their relevance to the research question. Okay, if that participant is relevant to the research question, he will definitely be selected. Okay, to the research question or their unique perspectives. This targeted approach ensures data richness and diversity. So in qualitative research we need to get data richness and diversity, so we will opt non-probability sampling method. Okay, it should be kept in your mind. Okay, then the analysis. With regard to the analysis of qualitative research, it involves systematic procedures for analyzing, coding and interpreting data. Techniques such as thematic analysis, content analysis, and grounded theory help uncover patterns, themes, and meanings embedded in data. So we have already discussed that in qualitative research, we will not make any effort to find out the cause-effect relationship or quantify the data. Rather, we will go to understand or go to describe or interpret the data that we get. So for that, we will use certain thematic analysis, content analysis, and grounded theory techniques. Okay. Then with regard to the contextual understanding, one of the strengths of qualitative research is its focus on context. Researchers aim to understand behavior and phenomenon within their social, cultural, historical, and environmental context, providing a nuanced understanding of complex issue. Okay, in qualitative research, there will be a definite contextual specificity. Okay, researchers aim to understand behavior within their context. So we will get information, we will collect the information from the participants within their context. That is the most important thing in qualitative research. And let me move on to the validity and reliability. So it uses scientific methods, as we mentioned in the previous slides. So we will definitely get validity and reliability. In qualitative research, validity refers to the accuracy and trustworthiness of findings, while reliability concerns the consistency and replicability of the study. Techniques such as member checking, triangulation, and reflexivity help enhance the credibility of qualitative research. We will deal with these processes in detail, but we need to understand that we are not going to use any kind of quantitative statistical techniques to assure the validity and reliability in qualitative research. Okay, so in quantitative research, we will definitely use certain quantitative techniques to understand to make sure the validity and reliability of the research. But in qualitative research, we have our own techniques. Okay, then flexibility and iterative process. Qualitative research is flexible and iterative, allowing researchers to adopt their approach based on emerging insights. It encourages open-ended exploration and continuous refinement of research questions and methods. So it is not stable. Qualitative research is not stable, and even the questions of qualitative research is also not much stable. It's flexible. If we wanted to get information about a particular phenomenon from a particular respondent, we can ask probing questions over and again, and we will get more information from the participants. So you should take into consideration that we don't have any predetermined questionnaire or predetermined questions with us. Rather, we will move in a flexible manner. Okay, then rich and thick description. Qualitative research aims to produce rich and thick descriptions of phenomenon, capturing the depth, diversity, and nuances of human experiences. These detailed descriptions enhance the transferability and adaptability of findings to real-world context. Okay, we will get thick and rich description from the human subject, so it will be more easy. And we have already discussed that we will get natural, genuine information from the participants. So the transferability will be higher compared to the quantitative research here. So it can be applied to various settings as per the needs of the situation. Okay, and theory development. While qualitative research can be exploratory, it also contributes to theory development by generating hypothesis, conceptual framework, and explanatory models based on empirical data and theoretical insight. As we have already mentioned that qualitative research mainly focused on theory building, and it will create a venue for creating conceptual framework and exploratory models, because we will get genuine natural data from the environment. As I mentioned earlier, it is transferable, so we can make theories and general conclusion based on this data. Then we shall move on to the difference between quantitative and qualitative research. Okay, so we will discuss the aspect and the difference in quantitative and qualitative research here. So first of all, with regard to the general framework, Quantitative research seeks to confirm hypothesis about phenomenon. So it's clear we will definitely have certain hypothesis in quantitative research. So the major aim of the research is to confirm the hypothesis, whether to accept or refute it. That is the major aim in quantitative research. But in qualitative research, we don't have any kind of hypothesis, but it seeks to explore the phenomenon. So we just wanted to get information about the particular phenomenon. We want to explain it, we want to describe it, we want to interpret it, as I mentioned earlier. Okay, question format. Quantitative research, you will definitely have closed-end questions, and the participants will get an opportunity to select their response from the predetermined options. But in qualitative research, there won't be any kind of predetermined responses. Rather, the participant can describe what all are the things that comes in to his mind, his experiences, his perceptions, and so on. Okay, there won't be any stipulated or predefined response pattern. Okay, then data format. In quantitative research, we will get numerical data. We will obtain from assigning values to responses. Okay, so we will get the responses from the participants, and we will will assign numerical data, or we will quantify that data to for statistical analysis. Okay, it's clear, I guess. We will get numerical data. The data that we get from the quantitative inquiry will be quantified for analysis purposes using statistical techniques. Okay, but in qualitative research, we will get textual data obtained from audio, video recordings, and field notes. We will get the textual data and we will code it and classify it for further analysis, and we will never use any statistical techniques here. So we just don't want to make it in a numerical or quantified format. Okay, flexibility in study design. In quantitative research, study design is stable throughout. There won't be any kind of changes. It will be predetermined. But in qualitative research, some aspect of the study design are flexible. Okay, we cannot say that it's completely flexible. So there will be certain kind of flexibility compared to the quantitative research. Example, interview questions. So we can move on to the instruments. Quantitative research uses rigid instruments like questionnaires and survey. Rigid means the participant will get an option, will get an opportunity to express their responses in a predefined matter. Okay, predefined responses are there. They can select the responses which is favorable to him. But in qualitative researchers uses flexible iterative instruments like in-depth interviews. Okay, that is a major difference. And with regard to the methods, highly structured method is used in quantitative research. Highly structured method is used in quantitative research. Questionnaire, surveys, structured observation will be there. But in qualitative research, we will use semi-structured questionnaires or semi-structured methods like in-depth interviews, focus group, or participant observation, as we have seen earlier. And with regard to the objectives, the major objective of quantitative research is to quantify variation, predict causal relationship between variables, and describe population. Okay, the major techniques are major objectives of quantitative research is to quantify the variation. So we will use standard deviation there, and predict the causal relation, cause-effect relationship, or predict the relationship between independent and dependent variable here in quantitative research. And we will go for describe the population. Descriptive data analysis will be there. And qualitative research also has similar aims or objectives. It will also go describe the variation, not statistically. It should be kept in your mind. Okay, then it describe or explain the relationship. So the qualitative research objective is to describe or explain the relationship between variables or processes and describe experiences. Okay. Then influence of participant responses. In quantitative research, participant responses do not influence question sequence. So we have a predefined question pattern, and there won't be any kind of changes in the participant responses or the question sequence. Sorry, not participant responses, for the question sequence. It won't affect any external variables, any things. Okay, it will be stable. But in qualitative research, participant responses influence question sequence. Okay, if we wanted to get more information about a particular question, we can ask further related to that question. Okay, we can add sub questions, and we can explore the processes with much more ease and clarity in qualitative research. Okay, the study design. In quantitative research, the study design will be stable. It won't be flexible. It will be stable from start to finish. But in qualitative research, it is iterative. It adjusts based on the learning from the data. Okay, and statistical assumptions. Studies in quantitative research, study design is subject to statistical assumptions and conditions. Okay, the design of quantitative research will be subject to the statistical assumptions and condition. Okay, that is what we that is the main reason we said hypothesis, and based on that hypothesis we will move forward. But in qualitative research, the study design is less constrained by the statistical assumption. We will not deal with any kind of statistical inferences. Rather, we will set a research objectives, and based on that research objectives, we will definitely have certain research questions, and these all are the guiding principles or guidelines for the further research inquiries. Okay, that is a major differences between qualitative and quantitative research. Okay, thank you.